Oh, well, that, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward everything that just happened because it's basically worthless. Yeah, so basically what just happened is I haven't been fishing in a little bit as far as like actually going and patterning something, trying to go figure it out. Mostly I've just been hitting some stuff where I know there's fish at, making videos and catching a lot of fish, but you know, haven't really spent a lot of time digging into new things. So today I went and tried to fish some of my old grass places, and I didn't like have any preconceived notion, or like I didn't practice it. I didn't practice it and then come make a video. I just tried to put my stuff in the boat, come out here and make a video for you guys, but there's no grass there, which was a bummer. Like I tried like 6 places to have a lot of grass, and literally there was no grass, or very, very little grass, and I was not expecting that. So with, it's 6 o'clock on the dot right now. 6 o'clock on the dot. So I'm about to put all this big stuff I got back up. Got top waters, I got top water, I got a frog, got a little swim bait. I'm gonna rig up my big worm and a hollow belly swim bait. I'm gonna go out to the ledges. I'm gonna quickly, until dark, look for some schools, because that's what I've been doing, and see if I can catch some fish to finish out the video. Doing what I love doing best, honestly, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to keep fishing out deep and keep fishing those schools. I wanted to go find some stuff up shallow and mix it up and get in the grass, but it's going to take me a couple days getting back into it to first find out where the dang grass is, because look at them. To find out where the grass is, because the first like 5 places I thought that I was going to catch them at, that I normally catch them at, there was no grass there. So key to fishing grass is fish in grass. So I'm gonna put all this stuff up really quickly, keep 2 rods out. God, this one feels big. Oh, yes. Oh, finally. Oh, freaking choked it. And as soon as he hit it, he freaking took off with it. I mean, I didn't even have time to think about setting the hook on that one. Freaking chunk right there. Little chunker for the release. Ah, that was fun. It's been a minute since I caught one on my big worm. I know my videos look like I stay catching them on it, but it actually has been a couple weeks since I've caught one on it, and it felt pretty dang good, I'm not gonna lie. That sucker, when he hit it, he just picked up and freaking took off with it. He wasn't playing this let's tap it and tap it and tap it game. He said, I'm finna go get this son of a bitch and go to the house. I had freaking rods everywhere. There's so many fish up here. And they move up and down this ledge. Honestly, they haven't been in the same places. I know y'all have seen me fish this same area a bunch, but as far as like being on the same waypoints they've been all year, really they haven't. They've moved around a ton this year. Kind of hard to catch, kind of hard to stay on top of. Not necessarily always hard to catch once you find them, but when they move around that much, it's kind of hard to stay on top of them. You gotta come out here and keep checking for them. This is a big one. There we go. Finally, freaking something. We got us an old puller on the drop shot. Look how pegged he is on a little bitty tiny hook in that flirt worm. That sucker right there is freaking pegged. And the release. So I'm really curious, how many of you, we practice catch and release and everybody talks about catch and release, but how many of you catch and keep and like actually cook your fish that you catch, your bass, especially bass, but most specifically I'm talking about bass. I know, there's several people that eat bass and take them home and cook them, which you have obviously you've got every right to do so. How many times do you do that? Like, do you go every single time you catch them and if you're gonna catch fish to bring back home and cook them, are you keeping them every single time you go fishing? Or do you just keep them a couple times, 1 out of every 10 or something when you go fishing? How does that work? Just curious. A lot of people have been asking me about ledge fishing recently. Where to find good ledges and mainly where to find good ledges and asking for waypoints. I'm not going to give waypoints out just because I never really had any given to me. Like, you get a spot every now and then, but for the most part, I've spent a lot of time finding, all the spots that I fish just by putting in hard work and grind. And so I would recommend, I would always advise that. But if you're looking for a spot, if you genuinely don't have any ledge spots and you're looking for a new place to fish at, always start at my opinion, like, I could be wrong on this, but find the biggest creeks. Say, pick the 5 biggest creeks. Well, that creek has a original creek channel that runs in the middle of it. Somewhere, might be up against the bank, it might be wherever it is, might be in the dead middle. But that creek channel, somewhere it dumps into the main body of water. That first 1/4 of a mile, even less than that, even 200-300 yards, is the most, not going to say not the most, but where I'm going to start looking, especially on a new body of water, is that first couple 100 yards of every mouth of the biggest creeks. That's just where I'm going to start. So for those of you who have been asking about where do I start or where can I get a waypoint, that's my kind of piece of advice, is go to the biggest creeks, say pick 5 of them and do it in a day. It'll take you a lot of gas money. It'll be worth it. Go to the biggest creeks, graph the first 300 yards of each side of that river, of each side of the creek channel. It's gonna take a lot of gas, it's gonna take a lot of time, you're gonna see a lot of crap that is nothing, it's just a bunch of crap, but it'll at least get you in the right start. And not every ledge has a creek mouth dumping into it, or it isn't even close to a creek, some of them aren't, but it just getting you in the right mindset and the right well, I don't know, actually. Getting you in the right place in mind to be able to catch those fish, because it is pretty hard, especially when you're going looking for the first time or first few times and you're not really exactly sure what you're looking at. It is kind of confusing. It is kind of disappointing sometimes when you don't catch them. But if you know some of the right places, it does make it a lot easier. So check out the mouths of creeks, and then from there you might get onto something. They might be on the first turn in the mouths of the creeks. Or welcome back to another video. I actually just finished shooting that braid removal video where I actually hooked myself with the treble hook and with the worm hook. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the little card above, so you can check that out. But anyhow, thanks everyone for all the support. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. The subscribe button is down below and I would love it if you'd press it. So yeah, let's go try to catch one and See you guys out there in just a few seconds.
There's no girl in our math class. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it you like.
Feels like a little one. Oh yeah, tiny one. Oh, sucker through my worm.
Too small?
If he's a keeper, I might put him in the level. No, he's not a keeper. I don't think he's a keeper. I think he's about 13 inches. But I'll check. No, he ain't even close. Well, first one of the day came on a drop shot with a Morning Dawn color flirt-worm. Reaction Innovations flirt-worm. It is the only drop shot worm that I throw because I think it's the best. And it's the only shaky head throw, like regular shaky head that I throw. I want Reaction Innovations to make a Magnum flirt worm so I don't have to keep buying these Zoom worms. I can buy reaction worms. I love that flirt tail. And the flirt worm, I love the tail of it. It has a ton of action. Big one. Oh, he ain't either. He ain't big. He just crushed it. He hit it hard. I don't want to keep that because I know there's more down there. Yeah. On the swimmer. Key with this swim bait is just make sure it is on the bottom. Hop it up a little bit and swim it a little bit and jerk it. Make sure it stays on the bottom. Or close to the bottom. It don't have to be on the bottom, just he ain't doing you no good if he ain't by the bottom. So y'all have seen me throwing this worm a bunch basically all summer, and it's really hard. You know, this is it's really hot out. I'm just sticking to the most simple thing I know: a big Magnum shaky head Zoom mag trick worm. I downsized from 20 and 17 to now 15-pound line just so it's not as visible, and I've still got that 7.4 heavy rod. And basically what I'm doing, you can see right here, the shallow part of the ledge is up here, the deep part of the ledge is up here, so there's the drop in the middle, and the fish are just kind of sitting on the drop. And all I'm doing is just casting straight down the line of it and working that bait back. And that's how the fish have been eating it, but it's really slow. I've actually had to combine the last 2 days fishing just to make one video because how tough it is out here. As far as fishing deep goes, there's so many people doing it. It's getting really hot. So now I'm gonna have to start adapting, changing up what I'm doing. Tomorrow I'm gonna spend some time out in the grass, and I did that yesterday. Or I guess even on the first part of this video, I spent fishing in the grass, but it just, everything changed. And I'm not really sure, you know, the grass just wasn't even there. So tomorrow I'm gonna spend some time up the lake, way up the lake. I'm gonna get out here really early in the morning, see if there's any shad moving around, and just see if I can figure out that grass bite. So thanks to everyone for following the channel and subscribing. I hope you're enjoying all the content. I literally love creating videos, fishing videos, helping people learn how to fish. And I wouldn't say I'm probably the best like instructor on how to fish, like how to do this and this. But it is really neat having people message me saying, hey man, I learned how to fish. you know, that crankbait the way you did, or I learned how to do this the way you did by watching your video. That to me is worth every video I've ever made. So just wanted to say thanks to everyone for watching them, and don't worry, I'm going to continue making them. And if you would, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. That would help me out and help me continue making videos for you guys. So on that last cast, I'm going to end this day. It's really hot, and I'll see you on the next one.